everybody, and welcome to today's video. Today, or this week, or the next few weeks in fact, we are basically mood reading the physical TBR. It's a disgrace. Getting a TBR cart has actually meant I'm just buying more books. So rather than decreasing the problem, it's actually increased the issue. Which is fine, but we need to crack through some of these books on my physical TBR because there's room for no more books currently. I can't buy any more books until I read some of them. And that's what the plan for this video is. First book I'm starting on is a new book, one that I got in my book box that I ordered, and it's Hate Mail by Donna Marchetti, I believe is how it's pronounced. This is like angsty enemies to lovers. I've started it, I'm a little bit through, I'm about 20% through. Really enjoying it so far. The banter and like the, flirtatious enemies to lovers chat is just sending me up the wall. It's so cute and so angsty, and I'm loving it so far. I just have no idea where this is going right now, and I'm kind of loving that. Quick premise of like what it's about. So Naomi and Luca were pen pals in elementary school, and they have been sending letters back and forth pretty much up until high school sort of time, and then one day the letters just stop and they're not sent anymore between the two of them. And then randomly a couple of years later, Luca sends Naomi a new letter to her place of work, but he doesn't leave a return address on the letter, so she can't write a letter back. So then she goes on a wild goose chase, basically trying to find his address so she can write back to him. And that's as far as I've gotten. I think I'm about 20% through, but I'm really enjoying it. I started it last night, and then it's such nice weather in the UK. So I went on a walk earlier, popped my headphones on and listened to the audiobook because it's free on Spotify. So I took some clips from my walk, so I'll pop them in a minute. I'm really enjoying it so far, and I'll keep you updated to give you my thoughts, but it's a nice easy romance read, and I think I'm probably going to get through most of this today because I'm really enjoying it. Cue the walking footage. It's already broken. Why did I think this was going to be light and fluffy? Okay then. Oh my good God. I've just gotten to the big reveal on page 250. I don't know how I was so blindsided by that, but I wasn't expecting it, and I feel like I should have been. This book is like plot twist after plot twist. None of it makes sense. What the hell? Oh. I had okay, I'm not going to say anything because spoilers, but in the back of my head, I think I knew. But I almost didn't want it to be true. I'm not going to lie, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Wait. Ugh. Oh my God. Okay. I just finished Hate Mail by Donna Marchetti. Oh my goodness. The problem with this book, right, there's not a lot I can say about it, specifically, without it being spoilers, because it's the whole book is basically a mystery, sort of, as to where Luca is and where he lives and what his address is. So I can't really say a lot because you don't find out until 70-80% of the way through the book. The plot twist doesn't come till right at the end. I loved the concept. I think I want to give it like a 3.75 stars, and I kind of just want to give it that just for the concept. The execution of the concept, however, I just don't know. Like, I feel like I would have liked to see this go a slightly different way than it did. But with that being said, I really enjoyed it. It kept me on my toes. I was hooked, and it was like nothing I've ever read before, and I really enjoyed it. I will say I have no tabs. I had tabs, but nothing really stood out to me to tab, which is saying something because I am a avid tabber. I will tab pretty much anything, so that is something. But it was a really interesting concept. I think I explained a little bit more before about what it was about, but it did not end the way I expected it to end. And I don't know if I loved the reveal, but it was not what I expected at all, which is always fun, I think. A bit of something unexpected to just make your jaw drop. And my jaw did drop. I had to be like, whoa, give me a minute just to process. I'd highly recommend you read this. It's something fun, something exciting. I think it's in the works. So if you see it in the works, I'd highly recommend picking it up because it's something different. And I know like a lot of romance books seem to just have the same plot, and I feel like I'm just reading the same book over and over again, which I'm fine with because I just can't get enough. But this was something different, and it was nowhere near what I expected, and it just kind of took me by surprise. Yeah, I've never read anything like this before, and I enjoyed it. Wasn't life-changing, didn't love the ending, but loved the concept, and it was just really interesting to read. Like I said, I think I'm going to give it a 3.75 purely just for the concept, and I really liked the FMC as well. But yeah, solid read, and another one ticked off my physical TBR. Thank goodness. I have no idea what I'm going to read next. Don't know if I'm going to read another book for this video, tackle the physical TBR, or if I'm going to read something completely different. I don't even know what I'm in the mood for because I basically just sat and read this all day. So it's currently 8:05 in the evening, so I just don't know. But I feel like that's kind of fun because I'm going to look through my physical TBR, see if anything's taking my fancy, and we shall see. I shall see for my next book for this video. Right, I think I've decided the second book we're going to read off the physical TBR is going to be The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. I read the Folk of the Air series back in March, maybe? This year. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. I got the books in the charity shop for like £5, so it was on my physical TBR. It was good. It was really good, but it wasn't anything like, it wasn't a 5-star. I think they all sat at around like a 3.75 star. This is kind of short. I feel like I can get through, if I like persevere, I can get through a good chunk of this tonight. And from what I'm gathering, it's like a sort of spin-off duology about Oak, who was like a younger child in the first in the trilogy, and he's now 17. Charming, beautiful, and manipulative. I mean, I feel like this is gonna slap. And the second book is out, so it's a duology. The second book is out, but I've only seen it in hardback, so it must have just come out. And obviously, we hate hardbacks. Cheeky little map. So I'm gonna give this a go. Hopefully I can not DNF it. Got my Kindle if we need to switch from the hardback. No, from the book to the Kindle, because I don't particularly enjoy reading physical books in bed at night. Like, I love to have my lights down low and have like my hands free with my page turner and page clicker on my Kindle. So we have that option, but it's more just reading the physical TBR books that's the problem. Like it doesn't really matter how I consume them as long as they're read. That's the way I see it. So we're dwindling another book of the physical TBR, but we're going to try. I'm going to start it. I'm not quite sure if this is what I'm in the mood for, but I think I'm slightly like rom-commed out. I could read I feel like right now I could read a darker romance, but there are none on my physical TBR. And I can't be bothered to search for one to read, like scroll through TikTok or like scroll through my saved folder of books and find one that I fancy. And there's none on my physical TBR, so it's like, this is like an easy option. Otherwise I'm going to waste an hour trying to find something. And it's like, well, that's literally a waste of time. I'm going to start this and we shall see what I think. I'll give you updates. I'm not a big fantasy romantasy reader. The only like fantasy series I've read is the Folk of the Air series, the trilogy. And honestly, it was almost like too much fantasy, not enough romance. So we shall see what this delivers. If this is more romantic-y, or I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't even heard anyone talking about this, so stay tuned to find out what I think of The Stolen Heir. Finished The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. I feel like I didn't give you any updates as I was going through. You just saw some clips of me reading, and honestly, there wasn't a whole lot to update you on, to be honest. This one exactly as I thought it was going to go. Very, very similar to the Folk of the Air series, and I kind of felt the same way. Craving the romance, but it's not even a romantasy. I wouldn't even class it as a romantasy. It's just full-on fantasy. And left on a cliffhanger, which again I expected, because there is a second book that I believe is out. Look, for what it was good, but it's just not really my thing. Like, I need romance in a fantasy book to have something to cling on to. And this was just kind of, I don't want to say boring, but it just fell flat. And I knew going into it that it would kind of be like that. That being said, I got through it in literally 24 hours, so it was interesting. And I was like clinging on to certain parts. And it was a good story, and it is well written. It's just not my thing. I just need some romance just to keep me sane. And it's even worse than when there's romance potential, but it's such a slow burn. And it's even a slow burn, and you still don't even really get a lot. And that's what I found with the Folk of the Air series. So I enjoyed it, I liked it, but I just needed more romance, basically, is where I stand with this book. I'm going to give it a 3.5. I will be reading the next one. It left a lot of cliffhanger. I won't be reading it right yet, but soon, because if I don't read it soon, then I'll forget what happened. And then I'll be even more confused, because I was a little bit confused in this. I think because I lose interest at points, I miss things. So we're going to read the second one soon. But I really like the writing. The writing's really good. It's just not quite my thing. But if you love like hardcore fantasy with a tiny, weedy sprinkling of romance, you'll like this. You'll love this. Because for what it is, it's really, really good. And I'm glad I finally got this off my physical TBR. We're doing well. We're dwindling it down ever so slowly, but we're getting there. I don't know what book I want to read next. Do I want to read another book for this video? I feel like I had this discussion when I finished Hate Mail. So I don't know. I'm thinking I have some options. I'm thinking potentially the Bromance Book Club. I love this cover and it's so floppy and nice. This is a highly anticipated read. The concept of it is just so exciting. I definitely want to read it in a reading vlog. So maybe I read this. I don't know what I'm craving. Am I craving a romance? Am I craving a mystery thriller? I'm not craving a fantasy. We've just read that. I don't need a fantasy for a while. Just looking. Got the TBR cart. I'm just trying to see what I'm craving. Because I have Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher, The Legacy by Elle Kennedy, which could be a good option. The new Lynn Painter book, which I haven't read yet. Quite a few romances on here. And then I've also got, it's only really the top shelf to be honest, that I'm interested in. A couple of, I'm assuming this is a thriller. A couple of thrillers and mysteries. Another one there. And then romances and just random like literary fiction sort of stuff. I think I'm going to do the Bromance Book Club. So from what I've heard about this book, I think there's a guy in a marriage and his marriage is in trouble, and him and his like friends form a club where they read romance books and try and like recreate the scenario in hopes that this guy can save his marriage. I think that's the premise of the book. A really unique concept, like nothing I've ever heard, and it just is exciting. I feel like it's gonna be good. I've heard good things, and I just loved like the cover. Like I wanted the physical book because the cover is just beautiful. So yeah, it looks quite short as well. I think I'm gonna give this a go, and we're gonna start it tonight. I don't think I'm gonna get too far into it, but yeah, first rule of book club: you don't talk about book club. We're gonna give this a go. I'll give you some updates, and I'll let you know what I think. I think this is going to be good, and I think this is going to be right up my street, and I'm going to enjoy it. This is what I'm in the mood for, I think. I'll keep you updated. I've just started. Literally the first thing I've noticed is that it's written in third person. Internal screen. I think I'm allergic to romance books written in third person. It's okay. It's okay. We've got to push through. We've got to push through. The banter between these guys, like the friendship banter between the group of guys, is already hitting. Oh my goodness. I can tell this is just going to be like a banterous vibe, and I'm excited already. I'm already excited. I always love when there's a Taylor Swift reference or a Taylor Swift song reference. The speakers bled an angry Taylor Swift song about burning pictures. I mean, that's iconic. That is iconic. Ignore the fact my hair is wet. I've just had a shower, but I am about 65% through the Bromance Book Club. And I have some thoughts. I'm really enjoying it. The concept is so unique and like nothing I've ever read. I thought the third person would really annoy me. And it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It fits the story and it fits the characters. And sometimes I find third person writing like a chore to read, but this is flowing, this is great, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie, Thea, the FMC, is insufferable. I don't know if she's gonna have some sort of redemption arc, but right now she's doing my head in. Gavin is fine, like the character's nothing special, but like I said, I still have a little bit to go, so we shall see. I'm hoping there's some sort of FMC redemption arc, because oh my goodness, there's got to be more to the story than what we're being told at this current point, because if there's not, this is truly ridiculous and just irritating to my core. Like, oh my god. Can we just take another second to appreciate the cover? The cover is beautiful, and yeah, it's such a really interesting concept, and I'm really enjoying it. And the banter between the group of guys who are in the book club is just top tier. Like, you know, just making fun of each other, like, but also supporting each other. Like they some of the guys turn up in disguise at one of their dates, one of Gavin and Thea's dates, and Thea thinks it's like, because they're obviously, Gavin is a famous baseball star, and so she thinks they're like stalkers or like fans, but when Gavin sees who they are, I realise it's actually just his friends from the book club, which is iconic. They're all like in disguise. It's hilarious. So it's really funny. And it's a great palette cleanser, and I'm just like giggling at this, not even because of the romance, just because of the vibes. Like the vibes are just there, and I'm just really enjoying it for that. Like I said, I'm planning on reading this. It's lovely and sunny out, so I'm gonna go and sit in the garden, finish this tonight potentially, but it's just a great time, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Finished the Bromance Book Club. It was good. The banter was top tier. It was wholesome. Like the banter between the guys was just next level. Like the guys in the book club. I think I said that earlier. It was just top tier, next level. And funny, like really funny. Like I was laughing at points. I will say Thea's character did not improve. Oh my goodness. It was very much back and forth, slightly insufferable. And honestly, none of the characters were very special. Like, could take or leave all the characters in this book. No one really stood out to me. Not even Gavin particularly. It was very easy, no sort of angst. It was all resolved far too easy, but yeah. And you know how I was saying before, like, oh, maybe I feel like there's gonna be more to this. Like, this all feels very silly and surface level. It continued to be silly and surface level, so don't expect anything too angsty, anything too crazy. This is very much a funny palate cleanser romance that you're gonna sit and binge in like I do, because I started this last night and I've already finished it, and I was at work all day today, so yeah, it's very much just low stakes romance. Sometimes you just need that, especially after reading fantasy or reading heavier books. This is exactly what you need, and it was good on that part, but it was nothing life-changing by any means. I gave it a 3.25. Could have been a 3 to be honest, but there were parts I liked, and I really liked the concept. I thought the concept was really interesting, and I would have loved to see more of the book club, because I feel like we didn't get a whole lot of the book club, and that was like the best part. The banter of the book club was the best part, and I feel like we didn't actually get that much from the book club. I would have loved to see more of the book club. I think there are more books written in this universe, so I need to have a look and see. Definitely worth the read, because the concept is so unique and interesting, and it was funny. And I loved it from that aspect. But like I said, nothing life-changing. This won't be playing on your mind. But sometimes you don't want a book like that. You want something easy and something that you're just gonna be mindless and read, and this is that 100%. And like I keep saying, the cover is stunning, literally stunning. This book definitely has a time and a place, but I would recommend when you just need something easy. It's perfect. Good morning. I woke up not long ago. Today we are starting the next book in this mood reading my physical TBR video, and I'm going to try and read a book that's been on there for a while. Like, I have some books that have been on there for a good few years, and we're going to try and diminish them. So now my face is breaking out so badly. I'm going to try and read The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I've heard so much good stuff about this. I mean, literally, there was a point like everyone was talking about it. So I'm going to give it a go. It's quite short, so it's not too intimidating. And like I said, this has been on my physical TBR for so long. And it's all good and well me reading these books that I've just added, like, but I need to read some of these books that have been on there for literally years that are just not budging off it. I'm gonna give this a go. I don't know if I've tried to read this before and given up. I don't think I have, but I don't really know what to expect. I'm not sure I'm gonna feel like this one. It's not very floppy. Well, it's not floppy. So I'm gonna get my Kindle and read it on my Kindle, but yeah, I don't really even know what this is about. I feel like it's going to be quite thought-provoking and reflective. Kind of isn't really my favourite type of book, but we're going to give it a go, because like I said, it's on my physical TBR, so we've got to try it. So yeah, I'm going to dive into this. I'll probably read a little bit now before work, and then I'll read some more when I come home, and then I'll update you. I don't want to lie to you guys, season 3 of Bridgerton came out a couple of days ago, and that's been occupying every living, waking, breathing moment that I'm not at work. I'm halfway through. We're not talking about that right now, but I am obsessed, naturally, as any sane person would be. So I haven't started this yet. However, she says it's just holding her Kindle. Bestie, I have the physical book, but the flop is not there. This morning I opened this book, right? Tell me why the first thing I saw was a Sylvia Plath quote. Does this mean this book's gonna devastate me? It's basically giving the fig tree analogy. Like, I don't know if I have the mental capacity for this book, but I'm gonna start it and I'm gonna see what the vibes are. We made DNF. Probably, if we're gonna DNF it, it would be a soft DNF, and I just might not be in the mood for it right now, but we're gonna start it on the Kindle, give myself the best chance. But I really, really want to like it. But yeah, literally, why am I hit with the Sylvia Plath quote? The audacity, the literal audacity. It's a joke. Anyway, stay tuned, hear my thoughts. It's 9 o'clock. I think I'm gonna make myself a cup of tea and try and stay awake and read this book.
One of these days, we'll give back the time we borrowed. One of these nights, I won't worry about tomorrow. And one of these moments will stick in my mind. And one of these afternoons, I swear, Well, get up and we'll leave this time. We'll never make it very far. I like you riding in my car with your banjo on your knee. I like you singing my songs back
I
to
can
me.
already tell exactly what this book is going to be, I feel like. And I don't know. I'm in the mindset to read something like this. I don't like something that's just too heavy. Especially when I'm not in the mood for it. My room is dark and gloomy. That is reflecting exactly how I'm feeling. Am I enjoying the Midnight Library? No. Do I want to DNF the Midnight Library? Yes. Am I so unbelievably stubborn that I don't think I've ever DNF'd a book in my life? Yes. Did I say 2024 was going to be the year that if I wanted to DNF a book, I would let myself? Also yes. In conclusion, should I DNF the Midnight Library? You tell me. You tell me. Because in my head, I was like, no, I'm going to push through, And then everyone in my TikTok comments, when I said I was reading this, was like, oh, I DNF this book. And I was like, wait, I can DNF this book. I don't actually have to read it. No one's forcing me to read this book. I am 47% through. I'm halfway through. And that's what pains me, because it's like I've dedicated my time to half of this book, and the idea, it's 9 o'clock, the idea of sitting, I've probably got a good 2.5 hours left, I would say. Maybe 2 hours. The idea of me sitting and reading this for the next 2 hours, I just don't think I can do it. And it's so sad, because this book had been on my TBR for so long, and it wasn't necessarily anticipated, but one of those ones that I've always kind of looked forward to in a way. She says I haven't read it in years, and I've had it for years. I think I'm gonna have to DNF it, which is insane to me because I don't DNF, but 2024, I'm really, really gonna try and DNF books. Like, I'm gonna have to DNF it. And it wasn't even that it was bad, like, the writing wasn't bad. I'm not interested in one single thing. Like, for me, it's just so boring. And it's the way that it's depressing. And I really don't like reading stuff like this. Like, it's not triggering, but it's making me feel really crap, basically. Just because of what it sort of is, like, the way it's sort of surrounding, like, the surrounding themes around mental health just makes me feel crap, and I don't really like reading books like that. That's why, like, A Little Life is on my physical TBR. I don't think I'm ever going to read it because I just don't like books like that. I don't like books. Yeah, I just don't enjoy books like that. So I think I'm going to DNF because I just can't physically get through this book. It's so boring. Oh my god, my first DNF of the year. Does that deserve a round of applause? I don't know. Because I was like, I don't want to read this book, but I have to read this book. And then I was like, wait, I don't actually have to read this book. No one's forcing me. No one's got a gun to my head and being like, read the book. No one's forcing me. I have free will to choose what book I want to read. And it's not this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be DNFing the Midnight Library. Which means this can now be off my physical TBR. On that note, brings us to the end of this video. Wow. It's the next day. I feel like that DNF really, like, gave me whiplash, hit me in the face. Because, like I said, I don't think I've ever DNF'd a book in my life. I'm proud of myself. If you're interested in what I moved on to reading, I started Icing It by Emma Fox. I just needed some sort of palate cleanser just to revive me. A hockey romance was naturally going to do that for me. So I've decided to stick with that before I move on to reading for some other videos. With that being said, I hope you really enjoyed this video. It was fun. I love mood reading, and getting through my physical TBR is always a great thing for me. I have just added a whole bunch of books to it, so there's going to be another one of this video coming soon because I need to focus my attention on this physical TBR because it's not going anywhere. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day and the rest of your week, and I will see you when I see you. Bye!